Dynamics 365, powered by the Healthcare Accelerator, helps teams make timely, clinically supported decisions around their member authorizations. Let's go ahead and jump in from the perspective of the care manager. Our member David Aaron was recently admitted to the ER due to complications of COPD. The care manager receives the alert, and those alerts can be served up anywhere in the application where the care manager spends their time. Once she's reviewed this alert, she's got a good understanding of what she needs to do, so she clicks into Services, goes into the relevant service plan, and with just a few clicks of her mouse, can pause those Medicaid services. Let's now jump into the perspective of an intake coordinator. Once I log into the application, I can see an individual or team queue of inpatient authorizations. The queue is really easy to sort by things such as auth status or even SLA time remaining. As we don't have too much time left for David Aaron's request, we click into his record. That takes me to David Aaron's authorization request record. At the top, there's a business process flow that shows me the steps that need to be completed for this particular request. As the intake coordinator, all of the details around this request are right here, visible for me, such as bundled payments, as well as turnaround time remaining. And when I click on Requester Details, it shows me all of the information about the admitting MD.
There's one last thing I need to check, and that's the authorization request documents. The great thing is those are attached to the member record, and I can view those with the click of a mouse.
Dynamics really makes it easy for me as an intake coordinator to complete the steps necessary. Once I've done that, I can pass it off to the nurse to review. Let's now look at things through the eyes of the nurse. When she logs into the application, she also has a personalized view of authorization requests that need her attention. And by clicking into David's record, she has visibility into the same authorization request and the steps she needs to complete. She's not spending time in email and has the ability to see admitting MD information in one spot. When she needs to review clinical information, with one click of her mouse, she can open up the member record and see all the documents associated to that member, such as this authorization request form. Visibility into the member's longitudinal record is easy as well via the timeline, where she can see all relevant appointments, medication requests, and any other clinically relevant information. Continuing to follow our steps, the nurse now wants to review clinical guidelines. As she interacts with the guidelines, it serves up clinically relevant alerts. These can be powered by clinical guidelines such as MCG, and any updates that are made can be captured and associated to that member as well. As a nurse, I have the ability to approve, or if needed, I can send it to an MD for further review. And setting tasks to follow up with discharge nurses, for instance, is simply a click of a mouse where I can update the notes and details about that particular appointment. Now that the nurse has routed the authorization request to the MD, he gets an alert and opens up his mobile app. There he has a view of high priority authorization requests. He opens up the one related to David Aaron, and without jumping into email, he has visibility into everything the nurse and intake coordinator have captured so far. Without jumping into another system, he can open up the member record and see any clinically relevant information, such as medications and conditions. And with a simple tap of his finger, he has visibility into any clinical documents that are relevant for that member. Now that the MD has what he needs right there on his device, he can simply go back into the authorization request and complete the steps necessary to approve this request. The final step in his process is to kick off the automated approval letter. That approval letter is automatically generated, filled in with member details, attached to the member record, and can be emailed or faxed off to the appropriate folks. Once finished, an alert then goes back to the nurse, letting her know to wrap up this particular request. She can go in and update the approved length of stay, review any relevant discharge documents, and in one spot has the ability to handle the discharge call and capture all the relevant details, allowing her to wrap up this authorization request. Because the application supports the entire care team, when that member is discharged from the SNF, an alert is sent to the care manager, who could then go back into the service plan and reactivate the appropriate services. Using Dynamics 365, powered by the Healthcare Accelerator, the entire team is empowered to quickly complete authorization requests using clinically driven automation on their desktop or mobile phones.